The sun was setting. The clouds were stained red, like blood. I felt a tinge of melancholy. I stood still, leaned against the railing, dead tired. I looked at the flaming clouds that hung like blood and soared over the blue-black fjord and city. My friends walked on. I stood there, trembling with fright, and I felt that vast, infinite scream through nature. We look at this figure, mouth agape, hands on face, and we assume the story is simple. But we've misunderstood it. For over 100 years, we've missed the point, because the figure on that bridge isn't making a sound. The real horror isn't what's coming out of them. It's what's coming at them. The artist, Edvard Munch, wrote of a moment walking at sunset, the sky burning, and feeling it not with his eyes, but with his entire being. I felt a vast, infinite scream pass through nature. Think about that. The scream isn't human. It's in the air, in the water, in the swirling sky. That figure on the bridge is just receiving it. A silent witness to a universe groaning with a dread we can all feel, but never quite name. This painting isn't about a moment of fear. It's about the permanent, humming anxiety of simply being alive. And the secret it's been holding is that the scream was never our own. To understand this silent cosmic scream, we need to step onto the bridge with the man who painted it, Edvard Munch. His world was not one of peace, but of profound loss. By the age of 25, he had watched his mother and his favorite sister, Sophie, die from tuberculosis. He wrote, "Illness, madness, and death were the black angels that kept watch over my cradle." This is not melodrama. It is the bedrock of his vision. He didn't paint from imagination alone, but from a life steeped in the fragility of existence. He was also painting at a pivotal, unsettling moment in history. The late 1800s were an era of dizzying change. Industrialization, urbanization, and new scientific theories that challenged humanity's central place in the universe. Philosophers like Kierkegaard and Nietzsche were giving voice to a new kind of anguish, the anxiety of the individual, untethered from old certainties, facing a vast and seemingly indifferent world. Munch didn't just illustrate this modern anxiety, he physically felt it. He called his life's work the Frieze of Life, aiming to depict living beings who breathe and feel, suffer and love. The scream was destined to be its central, terrifying panel. And the moment of its inspiration is chillingly specific. On a walk in Christiania, now Oslo, Munch experienced the scene he would later chase in paint. The sun was setting. The clouds were stained red like blood. I felt a tinge of melancholy. I stood still, leaned against the railing, dead tired. I looked at the flaming clouds that hung like blood and soared over the blue-black fjord and city. My friends walked on. I stood there, trembling with fright, and I felt that vast, infinite scream through nature. This is our crucial key. His friends, those two vague figures on the bridge, walk ahead, undisturbed. They are the calm, disconnected world. But Munch, and by extension, the ghostly figure, is arrested, utterly alone in the perception of a horror they cannot see. The scream is not in his throat. It is in the very sunset. The painting is not a self-portrait, but a portrait of a revelation, that the world itself can resonate with a silent, paralyzing dread. Now, let's truly look at the painting. not as an icon, but as the trap Munch built for that feeling. Every element is engineered to transmit not a story, but a vibration. Start with the world itself. That iconic swirling sky isn't a beautiful sunset. It's an emotional avalanche. The lurid oranges and yellows don't illuminate. They consume. They vibrate with a palpable, deafening energy. This is the infinite scream visualized. It's not in the background. It is the environment pressing in from all sides. Then, the bridge. It cuts a sharp, unnatural diagonal, thrusting the figure toward us. There are no railings to hold, no safe path. It creates a terrifying instability, a sensation of sliding or being propelled into the void. And notice the two figures in the distance. They are dark, defined, walking with purpose. Their calm normality doesn't comfort, it isolates. They represent a world moving forward, utterly oblivious to the cosmic rupture happening just a few feet behind them. This is the essence of alienation, to be shattered by a truth no one else can perceive. Finally, the figure. It is not a person, but an echo. Its form is simplified, almost a ghost or a skull, with hollow eyes and a mouth widened into a silent wail. The hands aren't pushing a scream out. They are clamping the head in a desperate, futile attempt to keep it from splitting apart. It has become an antenna, a vessel so overwhelmed by the frequency of the scream that its own identity has dissolved. It is us, rendered hollow by a feeling too big to hold. This composition is a masterpiece of psychological resonance. The swirling nature, the unstable bridge, the alienated crowd, the dissolved self, they are not separate parts. They are a single, synchronized system, all humming at the same terrible pitch. Munch didn't paint a face screaming. He painted the very sound of dread and made us feel what it's like to become its instrument. So, what is this dread? What is the nature of this infinite scream? This is where the painting transcends a personal cry and becomes a philosophical manifesto. The scream is the visual birth of existential anxiety. Consider the concept of anomie, the profound dislocation and normlessness that comes when society's old structures and meanings crumble. The figure stands on a bridge, a symbol of transition, but is going nowhere. The calm society walks ahead, but he is frozen, severed from that collective march. He is modern humanity, stripped of ancient certainties, religion, tradition, stable community, and left naked before a vast, uncaring sky. This is the core existential horror, the confrontation with a universe that offers no answers, only the echo of our own questions. The scream is the sound of realizing one's own terrifying freedom and insignificance simultaneously. There is no monster on the bridge, no external threat. The horror is inherent in existence itself. As the philosopher Søren Kierkegaard, whose work Munch would have known, described it, anxiety is the dizziness of freedom. The figure is experiencing that vertigo, the paralyzing dread that comes from gazing into the abyss of one's own existence and finding it bottomless. Munch gives us this abstract terror in visceral form. The swirling colors are not just fire, they are the chaos of a cosmos without intrinsic order. The figure's hollow face is the loss of self that occurs when the anchors of identity are pulled away. This is not madness in a clinical sense. It is the logical, profound reaction to a modern realization that we are alone on a tiny rock in a silent universe that roars with indifference. The scream is that roar, finally heard. The painting argues that the most profound fear is not of death, but of the meaninglessness that can pervade life. It captures the moment the soul feels the vacuum, and the vacuum feels back. And so we arrive at the final unsettling truth. The scream is not a relic. It is a mirror. Munch did not paint the anxiety of the 1890s. He painted the fingerprint of modern consciousness itself, which is why its silent wail resonates more powerfully today than ever before. Look at our world. We are drowning in information, yet starved for meaning. Connected digitally, yet fractured socially. We scroll through curated realities while facing existential threats. A warming planet, political instability, the gnawing sense of systems fraying. We don't walk on bridges over fjords. We scroll through endless feeds, often feeling that same dislocation, the same gap between our inner turmoil and the calm, onward march of the digital crowd. Our anxiety is often silent, internalized, a constant, low-frequency hum, the very vibration Munch made visible. The scream endures because it is the perfect avatar for this collective condition. It gives form to the formless. It validates the feeling that the world itself is off-kilter, that a silent alarm is blaring just beyond the range of everyday hearing. The figure's anonymity is its genius. It is not a he or a she, but an it, a vessel for human sensation. It could be anyone. It could be you. This is the painting's ultimate power. It tells us that this dread, this existential shudder, is not a personal failing. It is a human response to an unstable world. By giving that scream a color and a shape, Munch performed a paradoxical act of solace. He showed us we are not alone in feeling alone. He proved that the most silent, personal horror, when rendered honestly, becomes a universal language. The figure on the bridge is forever listening to the scream of the world. And in looking at it, we realize we have been hearing it too, all along.